guys, welcome back. Today we'll be making a laminated TN for a friend for her birthday. Thought why not film and make a tutorial out of it. So here I am just taking a 12 by 12 sheet of paper and making my cover 6.5 by 10 inches wide. And then I score 4.5, 5, and 5.5. I'm going to varnish my folds and making sure that they're nice and crisp. And here's my cover. I'm going to go ahead and do my holes to insert my notebooks. I measure out 1/4 inch from the top, and I do make a hole for each one of the folds. So you should have three on the top and 3 on the bottom. And then you measure out 3 1/4 for the center, and that will be the center closure. Then I round my corners. And now I'm ready to laminate. This laminator I got fairly cheap for $20, I believe, at Walmart. And I do love it. I do find myself using it a lot. So I'm making sure that it's all laminated, and I'm ready to cut my sides. When you do cut your sides, make sure that you don't cut too close, or else your laminating pouch will come undone, and you don't want that. So I want to round my corners, and my corner rounder wasn't working, so I went ahead and used some scissors to round my corners manually. And then I'm just folding my traveler's notebook, and now I'm piercing my holes to make sure that the elastic fits through the holes. And here's my cover. My cover is done. These little notebooks I happen to have, but you can get them really cheap at Walmart. And the elastic that I'm using here, I believe I got it at Michael's in the jewelry section. And sometimes I have a hard time threading it, so what I do, one of my tricks, is I get some tape. And I just cover the ends, and I just cut it so that I can feed it through the needle, and it actually works like a charm. So I happen to use that a lot. So then I just take off the piece out, and I'm ready to thread for my notebook. So you take it from the bottom, making sure that you have some left over to tie for the center, and you just take it all the way to the top and feed it through, making sure that it's nice and tight, not too tight. You go to the next hole, and then you go down the middle, pull your elastic, then you go to the next hole over and you feed it through. Make sure you pull your elastic, and then you go to the top. And right before you take your needle out, you want to go on to the next hole, so then you'll have all of them filled. And then you want to make sure that that's the center. So you want to pull the needle out, and then you want to feed it through the bottom again, so that you can go to the next hole to make sure that you have the center as well, so that you can tie the 2 in the center. So here I'm just feeding my needle through, and I'm going to the next hole, and I should be in the center. Then you take out your needle, and then you tie the 2 together. And I usually do 3 knots just to make sure it doesn't come undone. And then I cut the excess. And there you go. You have your elastics to feed your notebooks through. Now I have four elastics, and I'm going to go ahead and put my notebooks through. You can also make your own little notebooks out of coordinating paper, and just use copy paper, and you can use that as well. These are 4 by 6 notebooks. And there you go. Now I'm ready to do my center closure. So I want to put some beads in for decoration to make it look cute. So I'm going to go ahead and hold one end, and I'm taking some beads, and I plan out how I want my beads first before I feed it through the string. the elastic. And here I'm just playing with beads in the order that I want them. And once I'm content with how they look, then I'm going to go ahead and string it. I hold one end of the string of the elastic with my pinky, and then I just feed them through in the order that I want them. Now this one doesn't fit through, so I'm going to have to take it off my needle and take it off my elastic and then just feed it in just by itself. And since it does have a little tape, it does help go through, or if you need to, just use your needle to shove it through the hole. And this one I don't have any problems with, and I just feed it right through, and that's how I want it. So then I just feed the other beads in the order that I have on the other side. And you can also use button as well. You can use tassels, you can make your own dangles, you can be creative with all of this. So I was just using with what I had on hand. So then I feed it back through the needle, and you're going to go ahead and feed from the outside of the cover, and you feed your needle through, and you pull it on one end, and then you want to pull the other side of the elastic so that you have enough space to feed the other side. You're going to have like a little loop. You pull that other side through and make sure that you don't pull it all the way through, because that's where you're going to tie the center, and you're going to wrap that around your notebook. Here I'm just going to briefly make it so that it's big enough, and I'm going to go ahead and put my notebooks in just so I know how much space I need, or how much elastic I need to wrap around my travels notebook. So here I am just putting them in, and I went ahead and measure out, make sure that I can wrap it around the whole thing. Pull it out a little bit, and see here, I just make sure that it wraps around. It's a little loose, but you want it a little loose so that you can add more stuff to it, and then you have more room to grow. So here I am just making, I do a triple knot just to make sure it doesn't come undone on me, and then you just trim the excess, and then you have your center closure. And it looks cute, it looks decorative. Now I'm ready to add a laminated pocket folder, and I do have 4 strings, so I do have space to add one more thing. So I thought a pocket folder would be awesome, and it'd give her some space to add more things to it. So to make the pocket folder, you want to get a paper that measures 9 by 9 1/4, and then you want to score 4.5 at the 9 inch, and then a 9 1/4 you score at 3. You measure, you fold it in half, and you measure out 1/4 from the top, and then you cut at an angle, and that will make your pocket. And you just slightly glue the sides, just a little bit of glue, because you do want enough space to make it a pocket. And now I'm ready to laminate. Oh, before I laminate, I want to make sure I round my corners. Now I'm ready for laminating. When I do laminate the pocket folder, I do it twice. I do it once on the front and then once on the back, just because it has, it's a little thicker. You want to make sure that it laminates good. You don't want it to come undone when you do cut out the pockets. So here I am laminating again. And now you're ready to cut the sides. Make sure that you don't cut too close so it doesn't come undone. And then I will be rounding my corners with my scissors. I find it when I don't round my corners, they're pokey and then they hurt. So here I'm getting an X-Acto knife and slightly, just barely cut into the paper. If you do it too hard, you're going to cut into the pocket folder and then you'll slice it, and you don't want that. So just barely enough, and then you just lift it. And then ta-da! You have your folder. Isn't that cute? So then I insert it on my 4th elastic, and I move things around. Since the folder is blue, I wanted to make sure that it's not right next to the blue notebook. So there we go. And then you got your pocket folder. Now I'm ready to do my pen loop. So you get a piece of paper, a coordinating paper. You measure out 4 inches by 2 inches, and then I just use some double stick tape. You could add some hot glue, and you insert it in the inside of one notebook. I did end up using a little bit of hot glue just to secure it. And then I am just making it conform to my pen. This is the pen that I will be gifting my friend. Making sure I'm putting it in and out, make sure that it forms to the pen because it is a little stiff. You want to mold the paper. And then you got your pen loop. And it's really easy. Now I'm going to do a little embellishment. I'm going to add some of these clear pockets. These I happen to get at Target, the bullseye section, and they're clear and you can stick them wherever. I usually always pick up a couple packs when I see them because they only offer them during the school times when it's back to school. So I always, pick up a couple packs. And they're only $3, so it's a pretty good buy. And here I could use to decorate. I could put an ephemera piece in there. I do plan on making these pockets for pictures. I'm going to print a couple pictures of her and her husband to decorate her notebook. And I add a personal touch to it. She's a nurse, and so she's always busy and, running around, make sure that, she has a way to organize herself now. And I'm just going to add some embellishments that I had already previously made before. I can make another tutorial to show you how to make these little shaker pockets. They're so fun, and I love sequins. It says good times and tan lines, and I just happen to put it in this clear pocket right here. And then I add this piece. I did laminate that so it's durable. And I'm just adding one of these flamingo paper clips. I happened to get this at Joann's. I don't even remember when, a while back. But I'm sure they'll, come out with all their summer stuff soon. So yeah, I just put this clip here. I want to add another little embellishment, but this happens to be too big. These are just little heart clusters. They're so fun to make. Maybe I can do a tutorial on how I did that. And these are just cuts that I made with my Cricut with some glittered cardstock, and I happen to put a palm leaf. I feel like it goes well with the motif, and I just clip it in there. And then it happened to be late, so I just ended up leaving it there, but I do end up doing a little bit more personal touches later on. I think the funnest part is just, personalizing it. It's so fun. Now here is my final notebook. I added a little more things to make it fuller. I did make a little bow paper clip I made myself. Made it out of gold glitter cardstock. I feel like it goes well with the glitter and the paper and then the sequins. And in the laminated pocket folder, I added some sticky notes in the same motif. I love flamingos and pineapples, and it felt like it goes well with this notebook. And I added some stickers and a little notepad, and she could use this throughout her notebook. You could also add a make your own dashboard. I can maybe make another tutorial on that. It's super easy and fun to make. And then I just added an aloha card. and I went ahead and called it good. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's super easy to make. I will go ahead and leave all the measurements in the description, along with other tutorials and inspirations that I got from making this. I know there's tons of YouTube videos on how to make these. But yeah, I hope you guys like it. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!